stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014. There's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Hill.
And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense for the Saints, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
19 right.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
The Giants had 3 and 8 on the year. They come in losers at 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
2nd and 4. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was there, partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call into question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
Haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Here's Hill now after the interception. He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Kamara up the middle. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 37. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Play fake. Hill.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Julian Love picks it, and the Giants will take over here just shy of the 30. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And out across midfield down to the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Trap 50, trap 50. 18, pioneer.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
Catch made by Slayton. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you...
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Cameron Jordan so tough to block as he gets in there to record the sack. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Here we go. Track 60.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Gano's kick is good.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're
tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Yeah, the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets them down to the 6-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Giants have moved out in front. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Another try after the first down sack. Hill. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Second and 4.
Here's Hill. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around 30. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Right where this set him down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing on third down, Hill. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended the...
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, New York.
So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Here's Hill. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, And then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, Hill.
That pass is caught by Hardy. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And again, it's Hill. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up on the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Isaiah McKenzie with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Lutz with the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
They go play fake, and it's Hill. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Deontay Hardy.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Lutz good on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal range.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Giants are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off of play action, Hill. They'll roll him out right. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 35 yards the gain there. Another first down as well.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Good defensive call right there, because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route, and he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three? The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that, because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, but to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Try to find Barkley on the out route, and he's got him. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. On the return, Hardy. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Play action. It's Hill.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Hurry!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Peyton Turner in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, they got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Back to throw here. That ball caught by Slayton. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
For the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or in.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill. There's Chris Olave. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Hill on first down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now,
he's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Throwing again is Hill. It's hauled in by Hardy.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Back to throw. Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They snap it on 4th to Hill. And my goodness, another interception. Trey Flowers picks it.
And the Giants are going to take over here up near the 40. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Alert! Alert!
Ready. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Warrior 70.
Looking to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
Cardinal.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham.
And he is going to have the Giants 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. They'll run on 1st down. Corbin.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are right back in this football game. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Taking it right down Broadway. 30. 10. 5. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 67 yards. And the Saints use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. Lutz with the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead.
Score Saints 34, Giants 31. Will Lutz to kick off 41.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this 2nd half. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now back to throw. It's Barkley once again bringing it in to catch. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Back to throw. Finding Washington. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints have just about sewn up this football game.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You got to call all these big plays and have...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And I always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Marcus May with a pick, and the Saints are going to take possession of the football. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety, and you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Hill. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to get it back here just past the 35. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it. And sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, that means talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Hill. He finds his man, complete. It's McKenzie. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now Hill. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep